Hello, in this video I want to talk about why they make you jealous, how they manufacture that emotion within you. Hello, my name is Elizabeth Goddard from Revive Your Soul. In this channel I talk about healing from emotional abuse, breaking the bonds that keep you trapped in a relationship, helping you heal from the trauma bonds. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe, and if you're returning, thank you so much and welcome back. And I'd also like to say thank you to all of my new subscribers recently. It's just been amazing. Thank you so much. So why do they make you jealous? Such a negative emotion. What would somebody gain out of creating jealousy within another person? So for every action, there is a reaction. It's the law of motion. And some believe the colour green is associated with jealousy dating back to the ancient Greeks, who believed jealousy occurred as a result of the overproduction of bile, which turned the skin slightly green. And we also have the expression green with envy, which is a variant of the green-eyed monster from Shakespeare's Othello. Oh, be aware, my lord, of jealousy, in the green-eyed monster which doth mock. So jealousy consists of one or more emotions such as anger and resentment, inadequacy, helplessness or distrust. You might feel jealous if you fear you're about to lose something or someone. And children get jealous when they perceive their parents' love or attention is going to another person. If there's more than one child in the family, it can appear as sibling rivalry, causing angst between children over toys and attention. Jealousy in an emotionally abusive relationship is different. It's manufactured for the purpose of causing emotion and attachment. The emotional abuser will use techniques such as triangulation to create jealousy. They wanted you to be jealous of other people. It was part of the game. And in order to take control of your life, they need you to crush your self-esteem. They create jealousy in relationships as part of the trauma bonding and mindfuckery that takes place to make you believe you're going crazy. And then they blame shift, telling you it's all your fault and that you have trust issues. And this is done for their benefit. It turns the focus on them. Remember, it does not matter where the attention comes from, whether it's positive or negative. In their mind, it's a simple mathematical equation. Attention equals supply. An emotionally abusive or toxic person manufactures their actions. The intention was to create desire, jealousy, dependence, addiction, and anxiety. You made sacrifices for your partner's happiness, and perhaps you're only just realizing that now. As they do this very slowly, gaining your trust, breaking down your boundaries, they listened to everything you wanted and slowly created the person they believed you were looking for. They put on a mask and they played that character. They created a fake future with you, and they used tactics like triangulation to create jealousy, making them look popular and wanted. And one of their favourite tools is cognitive dissonance, which allowed them to manoeuvre themselves into the place of power, and they then started to take control of your life. During the devaluation stage, they withdrew the attention you'd received at the beginning of the relationship, and you then began to accept any little crumb that they threw your way. They may have talked too much about their exes, or their crazy exes, or about anyone who gave them attention. And they use this tactic to draw you into them. They created situations that made them look popular so that you would fight for their attention, fearing that you would lose them, the abuser, and the attention you receive, and not to mention the hormones, dopamine and oxytocin, that were being released into your body. And they created these triangles as they love to turn people against each other. And they keep you just far enough apart so you can't compare anything, but close enough to ensure that you knew this person was a threat. They manufactured situations that made you feel jealous and question their fidelity. You might have experienced gaslighting, where they convinced you that what you were feeling wasn't real, or that you didn't understand the situation, or that your facts were wrong, and they were so believable you actually questioned yourself. You may have discovered their lies and they told you that you were wrong, or that you misunderstood the situation, and they possibly told you you were too sensitive, or that you had trust issues, or perhaps they accused you of having trust issues. And you might have questioned if you were wrong. Did you misunderstand what you've been told? Perhaps you had forgotten what they told you, or perhaps you weren't listening. And this spiral of questioning can go on for a long time after the relationship is over. And then the abuser tests you by discarding you in some way. And they did this to make sure you were bonded to them. They might have disappeared, or you are unable to get hold of them. And then they reappeared with a gift or a compliment, giving you back the feeling that you had at the beginning of the relationship and reaffirming that they did love you. You did notice cracks in their mask, but you justified their actions because they kept reaffirming their love for you by taking you back to that love bombing, that idealization stage again and again and again. And it's these tactics they use to deflect from their behavior, making you feel you were mentally unstable or that you were overreacting. They told you you were jealous, and you might have even questioned yourself not feeling jealous, but over time you begin to believe it is true. You trust them, and they seem to be the only normal person around you. For people healing from these toxic relationships, this can cause so much emotional confusion and anxiety. And eventually you may have started to wonder what was happening and that you couldn't trust your own judgment. And when you experience any form of anxiety or go through a prolonged period of stress, your brain goes into survival mode. You can't make decisions, and you can barely look after yourself. So gaslighting and cognitive dissonance is a very unique experience for each individual. This was very different from a normal breakup, be it romantic or a friendship or family member, work colleague. Only a person who has gone through this very specific form of abuse will understand what it's like and how deep the trauma runs. You might keep replaying the same scenarios over in your mind and asking the same questions, what if and if only. The weird excuses, finding things that don't match up, wondering if you were jealous and if you did have trust issues. By understanding the cycle of abuse, the gaslighting and other tactics that we used, you can help make sense of everything. And this abuse penetrates on so many different levels, so many layers. Your brain has been tricked to believe that what you've been told is the truth. It takes time for you to de-traumatize. And it is so easy to slip back down that dark hole when you're faced with new facts or new situations. You were never going to get the closure that you needed. And this again is part of their game. Gaslighting is really dangerous, and it creates feelings of insecurity, confusion, brain fog, self-doubt, fear, not feeling good enough, vulnerabilities or powerlessness. Jealousy was manufactured. These are emotions that are not entirely familiar. You have felt them before, but these were manufactured for a purpose. They created situations that heightened these feelings of jealousy, neediness, rage, doubt and insecurity. They were carefully manufactured, and you may never have considered yourself as particularly jealous, but in this relationship, you've experienced these emotions and they're very unfamiliar to you. And when you said anything, they blame shifted, and you were told it was all your fault. And these emotions were manufactured from things like triangulation, ghosting, devaluation, and the trauma bonding that took place. Your abuser is a very insecure person, and they needed to make sure you were hooked to ensure you were not going to abandon them. This is a game, and they love playing with people's emotions. They love to see how much control that they can gain over everyone. And this started really early in the relationship. Baby steps to see if you'd move on your boundaries, because if you did, they knew they could just keep pushing at them. And eventually you became another crazy ex. They talked about their exes far more than any healthy individual should in a new relationship. During the idealization stage, they told you that you were the only person who had understood them and that you were soulmates. Once they've secured you, they told you about the stories of their crazy ex. They might have been subjected to bipolar or crazy making behavior during the relationship and afterwards. They might have told you stories about their ex being bitter, jealous, or still in love with them. And this might have been true. However, it's not normal for someone to have attracted so many crazy relationships, with them being the common thread. Is it possible They are the reason for all the craziness. They are really insecure and they use this technique to trap you. They convince you that you are the person who is jealous, and you start to believe them. And at the end of the relationship, you are the crazy, jealous ex, manufactured by them to fill the empty void within them. But the good news for you is you can and will heal. They can't see anything wrong with them because it's too dark and too painful for them to look. They need you to be the crazy ex. It takes the pressure off them. They had big ideas for you. You were the upgrade, but like the long line of crazy exes before you, you were oversold and you underdelivered. So they have to ensure they've proved themselves and everyone else it was your fault, and they started a smear campaign. They make you jealous to make you insecure, to break down your self-esteem and become reliant on them. But at the end of the relationship, those manufactured emotions help them prove that there is nothing wrong with them. Just like an egg, if an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. If it's broken by an inside force, life begins. Great things always begin from the inside. Real change can only come from within. I hope this video has helped you understand why they created this jealousy and manufactured these emotions. If you'd like to find out more about working with me on a one-to-one basis, you can visit my website, reviveyoursoul.co.uk, or you can drop me an email, info@reviveyoursoul.co.uk. I'll put some links to resources in the description box below, and I'll put the links to both my books, Finding Lily and the A to Z of Emotional Abuse. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video if you can to just 2 people. It would be amazing. I'm sending you loads and loads and loads of love.